pick here for NRG. How are you on the Smolder train?
I initially thought that it wasn't that good because it was bad against those two champs that were just banned just now. I thought I can't lane versus Kalista or Senna or Varus. But when they're all banned, it's kind of nice when this happens.
The other team banned them for you.
Yeah, that's why I was gonna say, like, I don't know why I think that's banned all three to then give Smolder. I'm guessing they're gonna play either Kai'Sa. We saw that earlier.
Probably Kai'Sa Rell.
I've heard that from some sources that the LPL likes the Kai'Sa into the Smolder. But the LCS is not the LPL.
That's true.
We don't play Kai'Sa as well here as they do in LPL.
I mean, I feel like no one plays Kai'Sa as well as the LPL.
That is true right there.
The LPL Kai'Sa is absolutely hit different.
Alternatively, it could just be something like the Siri. That's the LCK special.
Yeah,
the Siri actually wins
really well
against Smolder 1v1. So if both sports roam to the grubs, to the herald, and you win 1v1. The way last game for Jensen was really huge. I liked it a lot.
It feels like one of those champions that I think a lot of people realize is really strong, but not everyone's comfortable on it.
Yeah,
we've seen some monster games from Insanity playing it. Jensen looked really good on it. And when you look around some of the top players in pro that are playing around the world, it always seems to look really, really strong. Yeah. But a lot of players, I think, just aren't comfortable on it. They're not sure when to use which spells. They don't know all the matchups.
Very different compared to the other control mages.
Yeah.
And with Talia being permabanned every game, and with Asir being literally permabanned from every single region, he's like a new mage.
Yeah.
It's like him and Orianna in every game if you want control mage.
Yeah. It's also kind of interesting because I feel like it's one of those things where people aren't even that comfortable playing against him. I see so many players getting caught by the root, like the little root that you just place on the game.
Yeah.
And because when two spells hit you, and it guarantees the Severing Bolt, which is the QW, that procs not only the passive, but the guaranteed isolated hit. So it's so much damage if you get tagged by that. And so many players can make that mistake.
I remember I was a fan earlier with the sign, pick Jinx.
Okay.
You got what you wanted.
So how do you feel about this? You talked about Zeri as a scaling option. Jinx was kind of seen as that, but Jinx has really kind of fallen off.
I hate Jinx in this game. I think it's gonna be so easy for him to get Nautilus ulted or get bombed by way from long range, and like Smolder even can just hit him with a fire cannon Q as well. I think it's just hard to get going against Jinx nowadays. There's so many times I can jump on you and just one-shot you out of nowhere. If you don't have flash, you can't play the game. So I'm not a fan. I think Zeri would have been better, or the Kai'Sa even.
Is there anything that you could see Dignitas pick alongside it that would make you feel more comfortable? Like if there was a secondary, like if there's an Enchanter, if they grabbed like an Ivern, or if they got an Emilio or something along those lines, would that make you feel like, hey, the Jinx is going to be able to be in a position to succeed now?
I just hope the Rell's jungle.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. I really hope the Rell's going jungle.
Would you want to see an Enchanter here?
I'd something like a tank, I'd say is better.
Like a Braum or something more defensive?
Maybe Alistar.
Alistar.
Some semi defensives and can also engage. I think Dignitas needs to go full in here. Need to have like a bomb combo. Rell flashes in, Orianna ult on top, Jinx ult on top, and then just get the excitement going, and then you kill someone. I think Jinx can't really function if she doesn't get excited off the bat in the fights. I think she needs that to get going. Jarvan ban is good. It's a good, we have Jinx, we have ban Jarvan. That's how it goes.
Especially with Wei, it's so much guaranteed AoE. It's another one of those combos where it's almost like Rumble status, where he ults in, all the spells are guaranteed to hit, they all get overlapped.
It feels like champs like Jarvan have good combos with everything. Jarvan, anything is a good combo, which is true, right? It's like
great combo with Sundered Sky as well. It was looking good this patch, guys. Okay, so they're considering the Tahm Kench.
It's not bad. It doesn't really fit the Rell that well. I should have, Rell jump in and then Tahm Kench W's on top of him. It's kind of hard to pull off, but
I think Tahm Kench is probably just sitting on the Jinx, and they need a dive buddy top lane now,
so
right?
Now Dig's playing a kiteback comp against two champs that have more range than them, like are you the same range as them with the Wei and the Smolder? It's like who actually wins the range battle, the standoff, right?
Yeah. So from this position with Tahm Kench getting locked in, you're saying, okay, maybe they're doing more of a kite back comp. Would you rather see them pick something that is long range top and kite back, or would you rather see a dive buddy for the Rell? Because that's the question: is if the Rell's diving in, can another top lane pick, be enough to kill the Wei off, be enough to kill the Smolder off? And if they're not, then you probably shouldn't be playing a secondary dive, right? You should probably be playing either a tank or something that can kite back along with the rest of the team.
I think the best pick for Dignitas would be to pick either Udyr or K'Sante.
Okay.
Whatever is better in lane. I'm not a top lane expert, so I can't comment, but tanks are bad against that one though.
Yeah, tanks are really bad. Tanks into Lilia Aatrox doesn't sound very fun. Because Aatrox is pretty tough, I think, for a lot of the tank top laners as well.
Honestly, Dig have always checked all the boxes. They have tank and they have, scaling. They just need a top laner to does something. He can be either a hardcore side laner like TF or Camille or Bane. Gnar is a good in-betweener. Yeah, I like it. It's good.
All right, so Gnar going to be coming out.
Yeah.
Which draft do you prefer?
NRG. I think that Dignitas is too like static. They have no mobility at all. They rely really hard on this Gnar to create space in side lane, and they can't really make any plays themselves.
Yep.
It's like, who does something in Dignitas? If they can't win the standoffs with the range, then what can they actually do?
Yeah, that'll be really difficult. And I mean, I think when you're in those positions, you kind of have to then win early to be able to actually be first to the objective, be the ones controlling vision, be in that better spot. Just an update, we're not going to see the swaps here actually visually on screen. The swaps will happen in game, so it's not like it's going to be Smolder top and stuff.
Whoa!
Well, sometimes that signifies that it's going to have to be a remake, right? So it's not going to be a remake. Okay. So we're going into the game. You'll see the people playing the correct champions on in game.
The PSA there, like it.
Yeah. I mean, there could be some of them you have seen. Have you seen much Smolder in solo lanes? I know it gets played a little bit in pro and mid and top. In solo queue, I was seeing a lot of people play grass Smolder top for a while.
Yeah. I actually thought it was better in top and mid for a while than ADC because it was just so hard to lane bot.
Yeah.
But obviously, we banned 3 AD carries. It's not that hard anymore.
Yeah.
But I think I've come around on it. I think it's better in ball lane, generally speaking.
Where do you stand as far as Smolder's late game? Like, obviously, it's very strong when you hit 225, but do you think it's as powerful as it appears to be in the West, where it's like you hit 225, GG?
Yeah, in EU and NA, it feels like it's a ticking time bomb, where the little moment it hits 225, it's over. Just one team fight, pentakill, GG. But when you watch like LCK or something, it isn't uncommon that Smolders have like 400 stacks and they lose to like Siri or something, right? So I don't know. I think in this kind of game, if he gets to 3 items, Shojin or Essence River with Fire Cannon, it might just be over. I think that there's no one that can touch him in this game. It's gonna be really hard for him to die to Orianna. Just flash it or eat or an ult. And eXyu is gonna have a hard time getting onto FBI through all these other people, so...
I don't think it's a funny tweet, but I'm a C9,
I think they shouldn't talk after what they did against who was it earlier? I forgot.
I'm completely spacing out.
Dude, they play against B-Boy. Shopify,
Yeah, Shopify.
Yeah,
of course.
I wouldn't talk shit after that game, personally, if I was C9.
I mean, C9's been having, for expectations, a pretty rough split, right? They're supposed to be the Giga Super team. He's going to get interrupted here again. FBI now can't base.
Dude,
so he's actually just going to stop his base, and he is starting Doran's Ring to plot, so he's going to pop one potion now. Where do you stand on the Doran's Ring versus Doran's Blade start ever since there was a...
I think the Blades is better. I think the Blade stats just scale better. The AD is better. Lifesteal's better late game. Early game, the Doran's Ring doesn't even feel like that good. Like, you can do this, but like, that trade alone would have been better if you had Doran's Blade. What is the actual purpose of the Doran's Ring? Right? Mana Regen is nice, I guess, but... I think it's not that big of a difference. Just better scaling with the Doran's Blade. I also think taking heal on Smolder isn't needed this game. I don't think you're killing him on 2-2 this game or dying 2-2 better. I think Ghost, even TP would have been better. The only thing you have to do as Smolder is to get to the stacks as fast as possible. Nothing else actually matters, right?
Yeah. And I will say, playing against Tahm Kench, that is an easy champion to stack off of.
Yes,
like, I was playing a lot of Smolder when this came out. When I saw Tahm Kench, I'm like, yay!
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's a free stacks.
Any lane where you can farm is like, oh, thank God. There's no kill assist, no bars, there's no Sennas. I can actually just farm in peace. So I think Ghost or TP would have been better, but Tomo and Analyst actually have been playing really well in lane. Today especially. They stomped FlyQuest earlier, and that was a holding initiative, and now they're playing really well again. So very impressive so far from Dignitas. I think they will be pushing most of the game. Maybe get a play or two, but not much else. So we'll see if they can convert into anything more than just, a little bit of plays and a little bit of push.
Yeah, FBI has already used both his potions. eXyu heading into the bot side jungle is going down there. There's no camps up. Potential to maybe look for something here, but the wave is going to be gone by the time he gets there. So they have already gotten that first plate. Is going to wrap around, knows that there's no camps, and now I think they are thinking about potentially setting up for a dive on this.
They know Contractz is not here.
Yeah, eXyu wants to go.
They know where he started.
He knows there's no camp, so he's going to be going for it. We'll see if they can actually set this up well. eXyu coming in behind him. No cleanse on FBI. He's going to go for the flash in. He flips him up. He's stunned up, and FBI is going to go down. First blood grabbed there by Isles, but it is traded back, and the kill went to the support.
I think that could have been played a lot better from Dignitas. I don't think flashing in is the move for eXyu. I think should start it in the mounted form, Q, then W, and be at the edge of tower range. I think there was a way there to get a 1-0 without dying.
Yeah, it feels like even Isles starting up with Ignite. A lot of times in situations like that, you can just walk in and ignite him.
Tahm can take Q and E and just tank like 4 tower shots and then just walk it off, right? He has level 3 here. He should be able to take like 4 or 5 tower shots easily here.
Yeah, but he does set it up. I guess they were more concerned about him getting up, so they get the flash in, they get the stun. They obviously have the dive there from the Tahm Kench to knock him up after, but I think it was a pretty guaranteed kill with him having no cleanse.
It's still worth for Dignitas, right? It's still an okay play, but the only problem is that Contractz just got like 3 camps while eXyu did nothing, right?
Yeah, and now it's going to get annoying on top side. And Huhi's actually moved up here, so they're trying to punish with this Raptor steal.
Here and then fight for the grubs afterwards.
Yeah.
Even go cross if they want to.
Nice hook in there is going to actually connect on Isles, and the damage coming through from Palafox. The passive is procced, and eXyu is just going to get taken down, smacked over the head by Huhi with the anchor. That is a huge punish now from that bot lane.
Very unnecessary death from eXyu. Just give the chickens, bro. Not worth dying for while losing the chickens. Now it's going to be down to double CS.
Yeah.
This dive is becoming a very big problem for Dignitas.
And Contractz is just going to reinvade on the other side. Now they're pinging in towards the blue buffs. They're just going to meet him there as well. Huhi knows he can punish. He can just move around with the jungler. Huhi's going to get spotted a little bit far forward. But now, can they actually make the move to help him out? Dove is coming. Isles is coming. So Dignitas does have the extra man. Palafox will be late. Huhi has no flash. Huhi's going to die now. So they're going to give a freebie back.
As Tomo, give it Tomo. Nice.
Yeah, Tomo going to be able to get the shutdown.
Every AD carry is screaming, please give me the kill, give me the kill, give me the kill.
Man, that is a little bit messy though from the other side now. I think the initial play was great, but then they don't have push in mid. The AD is going to come first from Dignitas as well, so they end up in this 2v4 situation. And Huhi spent his flash on that previous play, so that is
not the first time NRG has a good early game and then botches it like this.
Yeah,
that is not the first time.
Jinx is now very ahead because Jinx got a kill there, got the shutdown, got the red buff as well, I believe.
Yeah. Nice person.
So that is feeling really, really good. Already had that earlier plate. Contract's going to be down here on the bottom side. Obviously still very far ahead of where eXyu is farm-wise. We'll have to see if he can really turn that into anything.
He also farms faster. So he's going to, the lead's going to get even bigger later on. He might get the grubs here, but Contractz will just base and just farm faster the entire game from now on. So I think if they just gave up 1 objective, maybe 2, he will just be like up 2 levels the whole game at this point onwards.
Yeah, it's really going to accelerate after the bye. Isles coming in, I think probably just looking to cover to help him push that in. Dove going to be able to take the reset here. Mid lane just going to be a bit of a farm fest, but there is the Haunting Guys and the boots already done there for Contractz. So first buy, really strong for him. Void Grubs will be taken there by eXyu. But what would you like to see eXyu do now? Is it just recovery mode, go back to farming? Are you trying to be locked into a position where you have to keep looking for plays because you feel like you're going to get out-farmed?
Yeah, I think you can't, at this point, farm even nearly as fast as the Lilia. So just clear a couple camps and then start an objective. I think he has to keep playing off of this Jinx and this Orianna. He can't really, ever get back in the game by just farming. He farms too slow. But this will keep happening to him the whole game.
Yeah, if mid lane has push and you have Lilia
living in his jungle the whole game to remove eXyu from the game.
Yeah, I mean, eXyu just has no ability to fight Contractz really at any point 1v1. Contractz already level 6 as well, so he can start looking for some plays. It's going to become pretty difficult to deal with him. And Palafox just non-stop going to be looking to shove this. Obviously, Dignitas do have pressure on bot side, are going to be pushing in there. That's their main advantage, trying to keep this Jinx ahead of the curve and trying to put the Jinx in a position where, you talked about it, getting that first kill for Jinx in the team fight can really mean so much. You get the move speed, you get excited, and that can help to snowball it.
This, I think, actually really good by both teams. Dignitas needs a fight to happen to come back in the game, while NRG doesn't want to fight and, throw away that lead they have in jungle. So I think eXyu giving up his red buff here for this dragon is worth it for him, even though it looks like he's gonna be down 2 levels the whole game. I think it's a good play by both teams actually to give up this this dragon here.
Yeah.
Just keep playing on Contractz. Use his lead to just hope he carries later in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, for eXyu, the game's not really about him at all anymore, right? Like his game is absolutely cooked after the bot lane dive into dying on his side of the jungle. So he just kind of has to accept that, play for his team, try to put them in a position to succeed. We'll be able to grab that dragon as they take that first objective. He got the first 3 grubs as well, so maybe they can look to play towards that.
And now he sees the bad news that his red buff is gone to Contractz, who will get all his camps bot side here, be over double CS ahead of eXyu. But I mean, if there's any champs in the jungle you want to be behind on, it's Rell or Sejuani or some sort of tank. His job is to flash in teamfights, die, and then hope that Tomo gets a kill. And gets excited and carries the whole game. That is just how it is as a tank.
Now the difficulty, I guess, is just going to be, can they actually get to Smolder? Like Palafox, obviously, he could be pretty vulnerable here on the way, but on the Smolder, if you can't take him out, it does get really tough in these team fights, and it is a champion that can stay pretty safe, has pretty good range, with the abilities. And also the ability to just like fly over walls and get a lot of these danger spots.
Yeah, FBI is doing okay on the counter so far. 60 at 9 minutes isn't too bad, not too great either. But normally you have a pretty slow start on Smolder, and then around like the 125 mark, start stacking faster and faster, getting 6 per wave at that point. Yeah, early game it's kind of hard to get, you know, a stack on every minion.
Yeah, and you get more CDR, you get the obviously cooldown on the abilities as you get more levels, so it does really ramp up. I think for pro play, this is actually a pretty fast pace that we've seen. We've definitely seen some really slow ones.
Yeah, Meech had a really slow start earlier today. He had, I think it was like 23 minutes, he still had 200.
Yeah.
Which is pretty bad, because at that point the Baron's already up and taken.
I mean, we've seen a number of games where it's like 27, 28 minutes until they get, 225.
Yeah,
so
that's really bad.
It's definitely rough if you get in those spots, especially if you fall behind and it's double ranged. I find it's so much harder to actually stack up if you're playing against an oppressive double ranged. Like, I've played this into like Renata Callista and things like that, and you can't farm, you can't really interact because you're going to lose every trade so hard, so you can't farm stacks off them either, and then those situations become really difficult. But FBI working towards that Essence Reverse. Mid lane just been a farm fest, and the game has really quieted down after those initial kills here.
There should be some action here at the Herald. I think Dignitas should probably just give it. I don't think they can fight, to be honest. I think Contractz, he hasn't based yet, to be fair, so he has a lot of gold in the bank right now. But I still think that their 3-3 is pretty strong.
All right, well, gonna be going for this.
Is here. FBI is here too, but they have the TB on Palafox in bot lane. Tomo's hovering up, so it might just be a 5-5 for the grubs.
I mean, this is a little bit weird though, because Contractz has 1,500 in his pocket, and Dhokla has 1,500 in pocket as well, right? So like, they have not spent their gold on their strong members, so they're not actually strong. And there goes Rich. He's gonna catch Contractz, and Contractz trying to get out of there. Will flash back. Mom gonna get called over the top, as it will be the disengage here for NRG. But Dignitas win the fight. NRG hadn't based before this grub setup, and it should be 6 grubs now for a Dig, and they're gonna be in a great spot.
Dig moved their whole team for these grubs. Palafox was already bot lane early. He could have gotten like at least 2 plays bottom here if he just stayed bot. He TP'd in for nothing.
Yeah.
I think if NRG just bases there, gets their items, and gives the grubs, they get 2 plays bottom, it's worth it.
Yeah.
I don't think 5 mana in the grubs is worth it because you lose many plays bottom. NRG a bit indecisive here.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. You can see the LCS spring playoffs start next week. It's going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have those 4 games. And Zven, your tiebreaker record, 3-1.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Why is this on the podcast?
We're talking about ties, talking about tiebreakers here, Zven.
What tiebreakers have I played? I beat Rogue at Worlds 21.
Okay. I wonder if this is LCS tiebreakers or if it's international tiebreakers or if it's all tiebreakers.
Russian guy, can we get a confirmation on this?
We'll get some confirmation.
Don't remember
it's LCS only, so it's LCS only.
Okay, on LCS.
Do you remember your tiebreakers?
I played one versus FlyQuest for first place when they had Prince, and we won, I think.
Okay. Who'd you lose to?
I don't know. I think I remember when I lose or what? It's not like I care about that.
Just immediately gone. Gone from your head.
I'm sure I remember the game if you tell me what game it was. I just don't remember it being a tiebreaker specifically.
Yeah, fair. All right, well, we were actually looking through a lot of the tiebreakers. So NRG, they have not actually as an org played in any tiebreakers. And Dignitas, guess what their tiebreaker record is?
0-0.
3-1.
Not bad.
Same as you.
Okay.
Dignitas, Zven, basically the same. And you actually lost to Echo Fox in a tiebreaker in 2018 summer.
Oh, hell no. That was for the dark times, dude. TSM Zven was...
Oh, yeah, that was that good in TSM.
Yeah, that was tough times.
Tough times.
Let's just move on from this topic already.
Well, good news is you can't play for TSM in the LCS anymore. Pardon?
I feel like I'm going to clown on broadcast.
Wait, how are you getting clowned on? You're 3-1. We were talking about your incredible tiebreaker record.
Incredible tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, we take those.
And you got.
Okay, so who did that beat? Can we talk about that instead?
Who did that win? We can when they tell me.
Dignitas, Free Dragon. They've gotten every neutral so far for free as well.
6 grubs, 2 dragons. I mean, there can be such a thing as kind of putting too many eggs in the Smolder basket, right? It's like, this champion is strong, we get 225, but Contractz is caught. He's going to die potentially here.
No flash.
He's got no flash, and he's gone. Tomo from downtown snipes him with a Mega Death Rocket.
Another person for Tomo.
Another freebie for the Jinx. They're getting all the gold right where they want it. Yep. This is so good for Dignitas. like, yes, there is a Smolder stacking up, but he's down 1,400 gold to the Jinx, who's in an incredible spot, and you have an angle to win through soul stacking, through so many different ways now for Dig.
And Gnar went silent the whole game as well, with the grubs too, so you get a lot of plates thanks to the little grubbies here.
I mean,
honestly, Dignitas is playing
really well
today.
Yeah.
Both in this game and Black's game, until, you know.
Until the wheels fell off. But we have to see, you know, can they actually play it out clean? And I think that has been some of the struggles for some of our teams, you know, towards the middle and the bottom, is that a lot of these teams have shown some good strength, but they don't always have the consistency on how to close it out, how to play it out from those positions. You know, they were in a pretty significant lead earlier on today, actually more of a gold lead than they are now. Of course, they do have the objectives, but weren't able to close that one out. They are going to be able to grab this Herald, though, so the objective stacking continues. And there's no turrets down yet, so this one very likely would lead, especially if you drive it in and you have 6 grubs. You spawn 12 of the Void Mites when you actually crash. So it's like pretty easy to grab first tower.
It's like playing StarCraft.
It's a circling rush. Pull the SCVs. You gotta defend the turret.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what NRG thinks is their power spike this game. If they really think
225.
Is that all it is?
We're all in, baby.
Because I feel like if you're giving every objective like this, even with the stacks, you don't auto win against these champs that Dignitas have. They have tanks, they have, you know, shields, they have advocates themselves. Not that easy to just win, you know?
I think their plan realistically was probably playing for second grubs, you know, utilize the lead that they had on Contractz, but he didn't have the right base timing. He was 1,500 gold in pocket. Aatrox is 1,500 gold in pocket. Once you lose that, I think they were really put on the back foot. It's gonna be a flash forward. Here comes the lilting lullaby, gonna be slept up. Can Dhokla connect on the knockup? He can. Rich gonna flash out, but there's the bowling ball of death. Contractz bowling a strike there onto Rich. They get a kill back on the top side.
The Mega Knight just ran out as he was slapped right there. Good timing by Contractz, and finally something good happening for NRG besides the early game.
They are going to be able to push Tomo out here.
They're giving their bot tower just for a potential siege mid tower, but they don't have any. Okay, just giving their mid tower, bot tower for fun.
Yeah, they will drop bot tower.
Maybe they will get dove by eXyu if he stayed bot, but that's a free tower. First tower as well. To dove.
Yeah, and they didn't even have to use the Herald for it. So now they're going to drop Herald mid. They are going to move around mid now. It is just FBI here for now.
Dove could TP
but we could see Contractz and Huhi moving over to try to connect. Mom going to get called, but they TP on the minion, and here comes the crash. All the Void Mites piling out of the car. It's a clown car, but FBI, he actually got all those stacks.
Yeah.
You get stacks off all those.
That is true, yeah.
So there you go. It was actually brilliant to give up the 6 void grubs, because now you're just more stacks for the Smolder. He's at 125.
That is really low still, though. 129 at min 16 isn't that great.
Oh, here's the TP coming in deep. It's going to be Palafox coming in, but the tower's already gone, and Rich is going to be able to just turn this around onto Dhokla. The Super Mega Death Rocket's just barely going to miss, but in flashes eXyu. The crash down connects. Dhokla getting incredibly low. The spiraling despair is going to take out Rich, or is it? Rich is on the run here. He will finally go down to Palafox, and Huhi comes in to help Palafox clean it up. It's going to be a second kill there for NRG. Getting another couple back on the top side, but still with the tower and 1 kill, the gold pretty even off that play.
That looked a lot worse for Dignitas than it actually ended up being. 1-4-2 was not that bad considering they got a tower as well. I thought it was going to be a disaster for Dignitas here. 2 kills for free, but Rich actually got the kill at the end, and they got the trap and almost lived for a second as well.
Yeah, if that Jinx ulti connected also, it could have potentially gone better for them. You know, buys Dhokla some time. That misses, he flashes out. The ulti came in from Palafox. They're barely able to finish him off. I thought he was going to go down there, but then you always get nervous when Triumph comes out. You're like, what if your spells are on cooldown? What if he lives here, guys?
Important thing here is Dove used his TP mid for the mid tower play, so Palafox had TP advantage and used it for a flank play on Richer. So I think things had to play safe here on this side of the map when they don't have TPs.
And quietly, Palafox getting pretty strong. Does have a couple kills now. He's working towards that second item. It's just sitting on the Null Magic Mantle, which I don't think is going to be built into anything for a while.
Items, though, to Dove, right? He doesn't have anything else than what Dove has. Actually,
it's the objective diff, right? 3 towers.
3 towers.
And
first tower.
Dove got first tower and all local gold on it.
Yeah. He has also the upgraded Seraphs, which Palafox probably won't have in this fight until the fight actually starts.
Yeah, and this is going to be that 3rd dragon here. We'll see if they're going to look for it as Dhokla.
Dig has control, which is huge, because Orianna and Jinx are sort of controlling space.
Yeah.
Their jokes are so hard to enter, and I think NRG knows this, so they're just going to give it up.
Yep, they are going to give it up.
Really hard to be in, because now you have to fight the 4th dragon, no matter what.
And it's Hextech Soul.
Yeah, the most OP soul in the game, and the easy one to play with as well.
Yep.
And FBI, he's probably going to make it there. 75 souls, or not souls, dragon practice stacks.
Yeah,
in
75
5 minutes
stacks.
isn't unrealistic, but also not easy to get. You know, you can get 12 stacks per minute off of waves alone.
And you can see they're parking him mid now, so he's going to be farming the wolves there. The Raptors just respawn, so he's going to be looking to try to do that. But this is actually smart from Tomo. He moves in, he sees FBI on the way, so he's just going to steal the Raptors away. This is minus stacks for him.
Dude, farming Raptors is like the biggest. It feels so good on Smolder, just like yoink those, get a couple stacks.
Yep, it is actually a really big deal, and that's how people really accelerate their stacks.
Good stacking so far. W on the casters, then kills the melee and the casters with the Q. Got 5 on this wave. But he usually gets 12 per minute, right? Off of the 6 minions per wave. It's still not enough.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
More than that.
They're going to need a little bit of heroics here potentially, but it's not the easiest team to hard engage into, where there's Isles in the background, there's a lot of peel, there's a lot of counter engage. You look over at Contractz, and he's still very, very farmed. This is a guy who's going to be rich. Probably can finish the Riftmaker up before that next fight. If he gets 2 core, he can be a threat. But the question is, can he actually get to the backline and kind of make something happen?
Yeah, he needs like a multi-engage, like a
multi-man sleep.
Yeah, sleep on both Orianna and Jinx, which is kind of impossible to be honest. So that Tahm Kench can't eat both of them. Definitely needs some big engage. Perhaps Huhi can distract the team fight by hooking one guy, ulting the Tahm Kench so they can't help everyone at the same time. But if they keeps a good composure,
stay spread, be first to the objective, it's going to get hard. And I mean, there's both a Knight's Vow on Tomo plus the Locket on Isles as well. So like, there's a lot of tools here to try to keep this guy safe.
Isles got a Fairy Charm, which I think means he's going for the Mikaels. He understands that, hang on.
Oh, Dhokla going to be in trouble. He's going to have to pop the World Ender here defensively, but Rich is crushing him and he's about to mega out. The Q3 connects, but he gets scooped against the wall. Will back it up as he knows no one from his team is on that side of the map. It is Tomo and eXyu threatening the 2-man Baron. Likely will be pushed off, but this is a slow response from NRG. They're just going to stick on it, and I think it might be gone before Contractz can even get there. NRG are just not even reacting to the Baron. They're going to give up a freebie here. 20-minute Baron giving up uncontested 2-man from Dignitas as Rich makes the space, and now they're going to try to find the engage. Flash out there from Huhi, and won't amount to anything more than that.
I'm so confused. Dignitas is playing actually good League of Legends here.
They're smurfing.
This is really unusual for me.
It's a tiebreaker buff.
What happened
how do you feel about the fact Dignitas is going to have a better tiebreaker record than you if they win this game? You're only 3-1. They're going to be 4-1.
That's messed up. Come on, NRG.
So you're going to have to come back next split, get yourself in a tiebreaker, face Dignitas, and take him down to reclaim your record.
Yep.
Because that's the crowning achievement. That's the crowning achievement of your career, your tiebreaker record.
I accomplished nothing in my career besides
tiebreakers.
What's that Gnar ult?
All right, scoops him back. It's going to miss, but it doesn't matter. There's no flash on Huhi. They forced it out early, so they do get the pick. And now the question is, how much gold can they get off of this Baron? They're already 3K up. They're on soul point. They have the Baron. And NRG just feels like they have really got nothing done this game. Has been an unfortunate one for them. They got a jungle lead, but that's it.
Yeah, they haven't usually played anything besides that one gank top that didn't even do anything, right?
Yep, it's going to be another turret going down. Tier 2 will be quick here to fall as Dignitas stepping forward.
Dig has a very good siege as well. They have 2 long-range carries, a lot of zone control, and good defensive support in Tahm Kench. So at this point in the game, Dignitas comp is really good. It's very hard for the NRG to actually wave clear against super minions, or rather Baron minions.
Yeah, this is looking really tough. There's only 120 until this next dragon spawns. That's going to be Soul. And FBI...
30 stacks.
Yeah, 30 stacks. Not going to happen. But they're going to be TPing in here. It's going to be Dhokla on the flank. Can he find anything? It's Rich split, but you can't engage by yourself into this. The rest of the team is not in position to follow up, so they won't get anything from it.
NRG needs to hold control of the dragon no matter what. They cannot leave this area at all. They have to just ARAM if they have to and just hold this area until the dragon spawns. But FBI doesn't have stacks. Huhi's
eXyu's threatening. He's stepping forward. Remember, there's no flash on Huhi, and Huhi's going to go down in a hurry here. Tomo going to get excited. We'll see how much more he can get as he's going to chase forward. Gets another kill. Contractz is down already. Isles is piling forward, and Gnar comes out. That's going to be another kill. It's a triple for Tomo. He's looking for the quadra on the FBI. He's going to get it as Dignitas wipe NRG off the map, and they could even march on the Nexus here 23 minutes in. Dignitas stomp NRG.
It's just over like that. 6 grubs,
like that,
5
man.
people alive, clean ace down mid. Is it just over like that?
It's looking like it. We'll see. Are they going to be TPing back in?
Again.
The rest are going to stay. They're going to TP back on the minion. They're going to actually look to close it out. Tomo takes a couple turret shots. Huhi's here, but there's no one else to follow up on it, and Dignitas have done it. They destroy NRG, move NRG to 0-4 on the week. They claim the 5th seed here. putting themselves in better position for playoffs and knocking the defending champions down a peg here on the final day of the LCS.
Dignitas actually playing good. That's so mind-blowing to me.
They look good, man. They look really strong
game,
here.
Nice early game, besides like the eXyu, chicken incident, and then good macro mid game. Got every objective for free. NRG seeming a bit lost, to be honest.
Yeah,
They didn't fight the Herald, but they didn't actually like get anything else either. They TP'd and didn't fight. Then they lost the objectives. They gave up the dragons early game. Did one gank